Recording practice. I have one person that she loves when this happens. When I put these and they say, "Oh, recording practice." Okay, so you're gonna do prostrations for those that would like to as a preparation, you know, the body, speech, and mind. But I also like it's, sometimes we don't do so many prayers because I'm lazy or something like this. But I think it's also because um, the intention that we're trying to set it up when we are doing prostrations, it's actually the best time. Lama Zopa Rinpoche, he used to, really try to make the mind turn while we are doing, before we do anything. So the prostration is just the beginning of what we're going to do it together. So that's why I like to also create the intention while we are doing or before we are doing the prostrations, right? So the intention, it's, as I always like to say, is the compass. Hmm? It's what is going to define what type of result we're going to have. Why? Because intention is just intention. But the mind has mental states that are come together with intention. Hmm? They kind of like can paint the intention. So if the intention comes from a negative mental state, therefore the intention becomes negative. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Hmm? Yes. And if the mental state is a positive mental state, then the intention becomes positive. So what is the difference is that if I have a negative mental state that contaminates my intention, the result of that intention will be negative. It's logic. Yes? So if I have something, a mental state that is positive, and I create an intention out of that positive mental state, yes, then the result's going to be a positive one. Hmm? So that's why intention is so important. Those that study a little bit more, we talk about mental factors. Intention, it's one of the, always, there is always intention in the mind, but mental states can color it, yes, direct it to one place or another. What we want, we want to have good results. That's what we need to decide. That's what we need to really want. If we want that, then it's very important that we check our intention. Hmm? So it's not contaminated by the wrong mental states. Yes? So that's why we do, and that's why for me, doing the prostrations is a way to help us setting up this intention. Yes? And especially because this intention, the best way for us to make sure that we are having a positive mental state is checking if compassion as a method is there. But compassion alone, is not enough. So compassion and wisdom, these two things are there. So understanding that we're going to talk about the mind, we're going to talk about the spiritual path today, how we can develop these different intentions and meditations and tools to achieve everlasting happiness. So by being here, may I be able to listen, talk, and ask questions, anything that will help me to better understand how I can achieve this happiness. So if we try to create that, it's already a very good intention. But we can go even further. So me achieving that state of everlasting happiness creates the conditions for my body, speech, and mind to become, of service, of help, of support, of benefit, so others can also achieve that same happiness. So that's what we try to create. That ultimate, superior, let's say like this, um, motivation, intention of wanting to train our body, speech, and mind to benefit others. We can do that. Everything that we do can become of benefit to others. Yes? Benefit doesn't mean necessarily that, fluffy. Just like, oh, yes. No, sometimes, benefit might be a little, you know, as we know. As we know, we have mothers, no? Sometimes we need to scold the baby, no? So sometimes like this. So we get inspired by especially these teachers, incredible teachers, incredible teachings, especially. So, so incredible that we have the opportunity to be here on a Thursday night, listening and training our minds, opening our hearts. So special. So, based on that, we're going to chant the mantra for those that would like to. Om Namo Manju Shri Namo Su Shri Namo Hotama Shri Soha. Om Namo Manju Shri Namo Su Shri Namo Hotama Shri Soha. Om Namo Manju Shri Namo Su Shri Namo Hotama Shri Soha. Okay. Yeah. Please have a seat.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, late.
As
Good Brazilians.
good Brazilians, I was going to say, don't worry. I was in Colombia this time, and then, I was always worried about the time, and then people say, don't worry. Don't worry. And I was like, really? Exactly. They were like, no, 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 don't worry. It's like, okay, okay. So,
She was in a meeting.
so very good. Thank you so much, Akari. So nice to see you. So we're just starting, never started. So we just created an intention, a motivation. So that's very important. Yes, that we try to set up a motivation, our intention. And then today we're going to continue talking about, this module of this. It's a program, right? It's a course that was created by Lama Yeshe and Lama Zopa called Discovering Buddhism. So for those that would like to discover Buddhism,
This one is better.
this one is better. It's a better chair, it's true. So for those that would like to discover Buddhism, but Buddhism is a long and vast, psychology. There's a part of it is a psychology of the mind. There's a part of it which is philosophy, right? So there's many aspects of Buddhism. So it's a very vast knowledge. Yes? So here we're just trying to create ways to make it sense of this vastness of the philosophy. But and then that's why we have the different like modules. And this module, I think it is for me the most important one because it's actually talking about what we call the path. So it's literally giving you oversight. Yes, good word. An oversight of the entire path. And what it means, the path of Buddhism, meaning where we are and what Buddhism proposed to us, as a spiritual path. What it is that Buddhism is offering us if we walk this path. Hmm? So that is why it's important for us, and because it's such a deep topic. Actually, we're gonna just see how it goes, and then we go in specifically in each of these topics. So we're gonna talk a little bit about karma. So don't worry, we're gonna have 6 weeks of only talking about karma after this. So don't worry about it. We don't no need because I'm gonna have to just explain a little bit how these things are connecting. Yes, so we can understand from where we are and how we can get where we want to get. Yes? So that's why the lamrim, so that's what the path in Buddhism means. Lam means path and ring means graduate, means step by step. Yes? A path towards what? Enlightenment. Yes? And this word enlightenment is so important for us to understand because that is the goal of Buddhism. So we need to understand what is the goal. You know? Why would I walk a path if I don't know where it's gonna bring me? Yes, where it can bring me. So that is why it's important that we understand where it brings and then how it brings us. So we can check if we want. You know, if I say to you guys, let's go to, I don't know, where I can say where we want to go here. I want to go to I went to one day, it was very nice. The butterfly
World.
huh? World Park. Yes, the butterfly park. Yes. Hello. Hello. How are you? The butterfly park. So if I say what we're gonna have there, what's gonna happen there, then you can decide if you wanna go or not, right? So then that is important. So that is important that we start with this understanding. And then how we get there, right? What we need to do in order to arrive at that location. So that's what we're going to continue talking about today. That's what we're going to try to actually, really explain and express into understanding. So let me try to open these so you guys can try to see it. There we go. Can you see it? Yes? Okay. So we're gonna try to understand a little bit more, yes, of so where we are. So that's what we are kind of like we were talking about. So we already talk about the mind. Why we start talking about the mind? Because in Buddhism, the mind, this path happens in the mind. It's not a path that we walk literally. Yes? It's not a path that we actually need to buy something, shave the head, do wear different clothes. Not this path. Yes, the path of the mind. It's the path of Buddhism. It's an inner path. Yes, and where is happening in the mind, and why we need to talk about it because we need to first check where we are. Why would I look for a spiritual path if I don't know how my mind is? Yes. So the idea of the first module was to talk about the mind was out, our mind is out of control right now. Yes? What was the word you used, Jack? Hallucinating? No.
Insane.
Insane. That's a little bit how our minds are right now, right? Totally insane. So that was to actually realize, how we are. Sometimes our minds are totally nuts when we start to overreact with something, or we start to kind of like someone say something and then we just like, bah, snap, right? Or we start to overthink about, oh, because I have to do this and I cannot sleep but if this happens, yes, we are trying to control the situation, but the mind gone. So that was what's so important for us to understand. And then we talked about meditation as a tool to start understanding this. But meditation can help us only if we understand how the mind, the long-term effect that meditation can bring. Yes? What does it mean, long-term effect? Actually, because the mind continues life after life after life. If I understand that the mind has that continuity, that what I'm doing now will habituate myself so I can have the results again and again, then I start to say, actually, meditating and using these understandings, it's a good thing. Oh, but what type of meditation do I need to do? What type of situation do I need to actually do? Yes? So then that's why understanding the path is so important. But then, as I was saying, when we decide that we want to meditate because our minds in such a way, where do we want to achieve? What do we want to arrive? And Buddhism talks about something that is very difficult for us to understand sometimes because we are not trying to arrive anywhere different than where we already are. I know the thing is very small, no? I made it big. But can it? Okay, thank you. So, what does it mean we are arriving where we already are? Actually, what Buddhism is trying to tell us is that the mind, yes, it's already pure. The mind is already unlimited. The mind is already clear. Like when we go to the toilet and there is the, to go to the bathroom, there's the mirror. It's already reflecting things, but it's covered. Yes, full of things covering it, covering that clarity, that purity, that unlimited potential. So what is creating to us? The opposite. It's creating limitations. It's creating darkness or, confusion. And it's not creating, purity. It's creating contaminations. Yes? Does it make sense what I'm saying? So the idea actually, that we are talking about here is that the mind is always pure. So the spiritual path of Buddhism, what it's trying to tell us to do is let's uncover that purity. Let's purify, clean those, layers of contamination, of confusion. Does it make sense what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes? So that is very important because then we start to understand a little bit of what we are actually having to do. We are not having to create something new. You don't need to create a new mind, a new consciousness. It's already there, the purity. We need to recognize it, yes, and we need to clean it, uncover. Does it make sense what I'm talking? Yes? Is it making sense? Okay. So for that, we talked about that the mind, it's not the brain. Yes, we talked about it. We talked that it's beginningless as well when we talked about death. Beginningless and endless meaning just continues. Yes? Just continues. Like a river, never ending. Yes? And it's our own mental state, meaning, when I was in Colombia, many people asked me about the idea of collective consciousness. Yes? Collective consciousness. This idea that there is something and we are just parts of this. That is very funny to kind of like try to understand and explain why, because it's almost like the fingers. If they are parts of the hand, aren't they? They're parts of the arm. They're parts of the body. So, but if I press my finger, I feel it, everything. So if we were parts of a collective something, that means that if I would do this in myself, or if I would have a negative thought, you guys would have to feel that as well. Because we were just parts of the same thing. Does it make sense what I just said? No, Johnny? I'm seeing Johnny like this, like, nope. So think about it, the situation that I was explaining now with the fingers, right? The fingers, they are parts of the hand. Yes? So if I press these, I feel in all of these, yes, the hand, not only here, but I feel, and then I start to feel here, and I start to feel, and I feel it. My body feels, me, Kalden. Yes? When someone does this to this part of my body, I feel it. Yeah? But if this was the same, that we are parts of a bigger thing, the same way that the finger it's a part of a bigger thing called Kalden, very big, you know. So if something would affect that small thing, would need to how do you say affect as well? Yeah, it would have to have an effect into the bigger thing as well. So all parts of it would have to feel it. So if I am a part of a bigger consciousness, all the parts of that consciousness or the bigger part would need to feel if I feel something.
Is
That
it the
doesn't help.
same, excuse me, is it the same as being interconnected?
So it's definitely different than being interconnected. The interconnection in the way that we talk in Buddhism means it's depending of causes and conditions. That what interdependence means. It means that there is causes and conditions that creates a situation. So for example, there is, we don't have any real flower, but there is like, there is many causes and conditions that create a flower. Yes, it's not one thing. Nothing is made of one thing only. That is the idea of interconnectedness. Yes, but so it means that we are all affecting each other in certain ways because we are living in society, but we are not feeling the same thing because we have different mental continuums. So when Rosangela and Luis gave birth to Fernanda, they didn't take part of their consciousness and gave to Fernanda. Because if this was the case, then Fernanda would have to feel something you guys would have to feel as well. Because it would be part of you. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Although when I'm sad, they're sad for
me. Of course. Yeah. It's a different type of, it's a different type. It's true. Yes, but a different type. Not because, physically or because that connect, because that love, right? There's the care, right? So that is the idea. Does it make sense, Johnny, a little bit more? So, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And because that mind is,
Part of that, I wasn't paying attention, so go on.
Thank you so much. So, because the mind is pure, and as I said, is just a mirror covered in dust, yes? That dust, it's not needed. It's not a part of it. An inherent, how can I use another word? It's not essential. That's a good word. It's not an essential part of it. Meaning, anger, attachment, all of the other low self-esteem, a negative thought, like all of the negative emotions that we have are not essential. Yes? Meaning, do I need to have dust in order to see myself in the mirror? No. Yes? The mirror has the quality to, by itself, to just mirror. Yes? Actually, it's just making it more problematic because I start to see that I'm wrinkling and I have something here which I normally maybe don't have it, right?
Adventitious.
Adventitious. Yeah, that's a good word that my English folks in the UK, they actually use that word. Adventitious. Yes, it is. It means that it's not essential. No, it's not it's like it can live without it. Yes? That is the idea. That's so important. Yes? So, yeah, the dust is never one with the mirror as well. So it means it's on the top, but it's not in the mirror. Yes? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Yes. So it means that those negative emotions, that doesn't matter how disturbed and attached and crazy our minds are, the purity, the clarity, the calmness, the vastness, the unlimitedness, it's always there. Always. But we are perceiving our existence as being the dust. That doesn't help. Right? Because we just limit the potential. Yes? So, what is the method, that we're trying to do is to eliminate, remove slowly, what's covered, clean it. Exactly. You need to eliminate. That's why there was a few, like maybe last month when I was here, maybe just when I arrived, there was on Sundays, there's a very nice lady called, what's her name? Gisela. Yes, Gisela. And she asked me a question. She says, why you keep saying eliminate the negativities, the eliminate anger, eliminate attachment? Why not just let it go? And I say, because if I say about letting go, I am just, anger is arising, I'm feeling, oh, I'm angry, I let it go. So it's, but the anger is still arising.
It'll be back.
It will be back.
You want
That's
to get
it.
rid of it at the source.
And I want to completely eliminate it.
Okay, but then
You know?
when you more old you are, difficult to eliminate, right? Just because you live more, you have more good, bad experience. So
Mhm.
the cross is big, right? It's hard.
The dust is sticker. The dust is like sticky.
Yeah.
Yes. It's true. It's because the mind habituates itself.
Yeah.
So the habit becomes stronger. Yes, very much. It is true. That definitely it happens. But it doesn't mean that it cannot be changed. You know, we nowadays we have different products, cleaning products. You know. Some of them are stronger, you know, than others. Like Mr. Clean. No, what is that? There's one, you know, to kind of like really eliminate everything, right? So we just need to use those things. But also, being older, you have more experiences to check how some of these dust and these habits really don't work. Yeah? You have more experience to say, "Mm, this is something that I was talking about with someone younger the other day, you know, and I was thinking, it's a little bit harder when people haven't yet had some experiences because they believe, you know, no. When I understand what you're talking about, but when I have my first, you know, partner, I'm gonna be happy. Yeah. I like the immediate reaction.
Or the public guy.
Yeah, the public guy, exactly. The public guy, right? It's like it's harder because they need sometimes they really say, yeah, but I need to experience that, you know? So when we are a little bit older, we are like, oh no, I've already been down this rabbit hole. What is the word? The slippery slope, right, Johnny? A few times. So to know exactly down the drain to know that doesn't work. Yes?
That's true.
So there's also when you're older, you have more experience. Therefore, these methods they can be more effective. Yes?
It's good to hear.
Yeah, you see, there's always a good idea. Yes. So what does actually the Buddhist path is trying to do to make us then? It's trying to uncover, to clean this dust, so this potential, this clarity of the mind shines again. Yes, and it doesn't shine through or contaminated by this dust. Does it make sense? Yes. And we are doing this because the more we do it, the more we can help others to do the same. Yes? Because what we want is every single person to be shining their clarity. Because if they're shining their clarity, there's no more wars, there's no more famine, there's no more fighting, there's no more anger, there's no nothing. Because what anger is, it's a manifestation of that mind contaminated by that dust. Yes? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Yes?
Can you please give us an example of helping others do the same?
So helping others do the same means that when we ourselves create that clarity in our own minds, everything that we do becomes beneficial. Right?
Thank you.
Why? Because the mind is manifesting the actions of body, speech, mind, and thought. They are manifesting from that clarity. There's no contamination. So there's no dust, dirty. So whatever comes, it's pure. So we need to really understand that because it's not about acting, speaking, doing certain in a certain way. It's not that you need to become a yes, 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 yes. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I need to act like this. I need to be like ah, ha, ha. No, it's not about that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are being, you know, thinking that speaking softly, it's a way of expressing that purity. If you're shouting, you can be expressing that purity. It doesn't matter. Louise is being looked at.
It's you. Speak very loud.
Yes, Johnny.
So what matters is what's in the heart, correct?
That's how pure the heart is. Yes,
Okay.
because from that purity, the whatever we do is going to be manifested by this. Yes, what, like the heart, the mind, the consciousness, the more the purity it has, so meaning the less dust, yes, the less contamination it has, the more we can actually benefit others. Because the dust and the contamination are also creating barriers, yes, for us to be able to help others. Because when I'm just thinking, no, 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 about me, I'm not thinking about others, right? When I'm trying to, no, 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 I just want to clean my own dust and I don't care about others.
I think first try to eliminate
Yes,
me,
definitely.
because
Yeah.
you already said if you're not
Mhm.
clean, you cannot help, right?
Yes, yes,
So
you
then
definitely.
you need to think in yourself and
Yes.
try to be better, right?
But-
and then
Mhm. Very good, very good. Sorry, you could, yeah. That's it. That's exactly what you say. It's
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear.
yes, sorry. So she was asking about that if we need to actually start with ourselves, cleaning ourselves first, right? Cleaning our own minds. And I said yes, but the intention for the why am I doing this? To help others. And that becomes a very different mental state. It's totally different. When you decide that you want to be healthy so you can have a healthy body to help Fernanda's grandchildren, it's totally different when you say, I want to be healthy so I can be pretty, so people can think that I'm pretty. Yes?
yes, I got
Totally different. You're going to be suffering in that process of trying to be pretty to help to, like, for people, because not everybody's going to think you're pretty. So you're going to be. But if you do something so you can help your grandchildren, if you can or you cannot do it in the end, you tried and then you're happy anyway. Do you understand? Totally different. Totally different situation. Same action, meaning you becoming, doing sports or whatever, totally different intention. Yes? Does it make sense what I just said? Yes? Johnny? So then this is the map. Yes? That is the idea. How we do this, how we achieve that cleanliness. Yes? And how do we achieve that? By thinking about others. Yes? So we need to go from where we are right now until we develop that intention to clean my own mirror so I can benefit others. Yes? Clean my own mind. So that's why I keep saying this since I started teaching here 3 years ago. I know it sounds very simplistic, and probably some monks and would kind of like want to scold me because of that. But actually, the training, the path, it's a path of transformation of intention. So I'm transforming the intention I have right now, which is my intention right now. My happiness and my happiness only, and now. Yes? I'm only thinking about now. How many decisions we made in our lives, they were not talking about future. Then I was not thinking about, oh, when I'm 70, how this is going to affect me. I always think about that when people that smoke. If you smoke, you're not thinking about your future, right? Because at some point, it's going to come, right? So we are only thinking about happiness for myself and now. That's where we are. So that is our intention. That is how we live. The moment we wake up until the moment we go to sleep, we are thinking, I don't want to suffer and I want to be happy. That's what we're trying to do. Hmm? So we are not thinking about how our actions will affect, not only in Buddhism, we talk about this life, but future lives. How do I achieve that clearing and purity of my mind if I'm constantly putting more dust? Meaning, I am habituating my mind with more attachment, with more anger, with more, jealousy, more pride. How? How can I be cleaning the mind if I'm putting more? Does it make sense? And I'm habituating more and more and more and more. So what the Buddhism is trying to say is that we start our first way of starting, a lower way, let's say a initial way, basic way is to think about future lives. Why? Because if I understand that habituating my mind now will bring the habits from this life to the next life, then I become even more careful. I don't think only about if I smoke, when I'm young, what I'm going to happen in 70 years. But I'm going to be careful when I'm creating an attachment for having control and all of this, because this will come in the next life. I'm starting to purify my mind. I want to try to purify my mind because if I become someone so stressed and so controlled and so angry all the time, I'm going to have that mental state, that habit in next life. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Yes? So the first step is about that. It's about motivating ourselves. How do I have a good future life? That's why we talked about as well death and rebirth in the previous module. Yes? The death, knowing that the moment of death will throw us into a next rebirth. Remember that? We talked about it? Yes? So how I secure to have a good rebirth? Yes? By developing good mental states right now and eliminating the negative ones. So what will help me think about doing this? Because my mind wants the opposite. My mind wants to engage with anger, explode anger, be kind of like, and this compassion and love takes so much effort sometimes. I don't want to go there. So then we have what we call the meditations of each of these mental state, of these scopes or these levels, so it can help us. Yes? So I'm going to go back to this later, but the three scopes or the three intentions, they help us first build what we say, discipline and ethical ground, meaning acting in ways that will not harm ourselves in this life and in future lives. And what means harming? Meaning mental suffering, mental habit.
Is a little about this. Is that Buddhism believes that, for example, if you don't solve your problem here, for example, the person that your family, the person that's next to you, they come to teach you something? Oh no, Buddhism doesn't.
In the sense of like if you have a difficult person in your life or in your family, it's because they had the intention to come to piss you off.
Yeah.
Teach you a lesson. Teach you something.
Yeah.
To teach you something that you're not real how do you say, you're not achieving it or like getting it because you're getting pissed off with them anyway. Is that what you mean? Because you're not really how do you say, getting the lesson or completing the lesson. right? Because if you would complete the lesson, they would not be like pissing you off, right? Does it make sense what I'm saying? So no.
No, Buddhism don't.
Buddhism doesn't believe that people kind of like come with meditation, with like, oh, I come and choose this person, this family, so I can, create problems to this person. No.
To create problems, but to try to show you lesson, because every person with you
Mhm.
teach you something, right?
It can. It can teach you something. And that is the difference. A situation can teach us how to be more angry or can teach us to practice patience. Isn't it? The situation in itself doesn't have these two things. It can actually be a wake-up call for us for training more patience, or it can be just like this person is wrong and I'm correct and I just want them to it can be like sometimes happens, right? So it doesn't depend on the person, depend on us, how we see perceive the situation.
So this leads me or my mind to think about a karmic situation.
Karmic situation, yes.
Where someone is, let's say, your child,
Yes.
and you're having difficulties with
Difficulties with a child, yes.
or adults. Isn't this something that could possibly have happened before, and karmically you're put together to try to resolve?
That's why I was thinking. You
Okay.
explained very well what I was.
I could understand what you were thinking.
So if there is like, if we are so,
Because there's a reason, a karmic reason, that you have this child, or this child, or
but not because of the person necessarily. And that is why,
between the two of you.
no. And that is very interesting. Think about karma. We're going to talk about karma soon.
Right.
But like karma, if we think about a seed, and if I plant a seed, when I'm planting that seed, I am not seeing the fruits. I don't know how many fruits we'll give. I don't know to whom, who is going to eat those fruits. I don't know any of this. But that seed grows and manifests and just kind of like goes in different directions. Yes? Because of that seed. The same way karma. So it's not that because I killed Jack, Jack will kill me. No. Because I killed Jack, I created the karma to be killed. But I create that karma to be killed with hundreds of people. So it's not going to be them necessarily. Maybe Debbie created the karma to kill a monk in previous lives. It's not necessarily me. But then these causes and conditions come together that I am a monk, she has that, and I have the karma to die. So then she kills me. So it's not necessarily direct because I killed Debbie. I killed actually Jack. So I have the karma to be killed by that. So that is because karma is just like a web of causes and conditions and, and situations coming together. So it's not that so direct as we normally think. It's that is so let's say that we have a situation with a family member. We have the karma to experience that with a family member. It's not with them.
Right. Okay.
It's not with
karma has ripened.
them. The karma has ripened for you because you created. If you haven't planted the seed, you cannot experience. So you created the karma to experience a problematic family member. They created the cause or the seed to experience having that situation happening to them. There's no direct. connection. That is hard sometimes because we have that
Yeah.
thing that we kind of like, we think that there is an intention, that there is like a direct connection, you know, because I did that to this person, so now I am. If we think about it, it's very possible that we have done something with that person as well. Because
So me thinking, oh,
big
I
giving.
really want to work this out in this lifetime, so this won't happen again.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It
So
doesn't really mean anything because it could come from
previous lifetimes. What we need to do is that now that the karma is ripening, so mean now that the tree is there, what do I want to do with the tree? If it is a good tree, I want to put water. I want to do, you know, to like put how do you say, things for it to grow more and all of that. If it's a bad tree, I want to eliminate. That's exactly this. I want to eliminate because it's already there, the problem. So what it means, I don't want to react in the same way or in the same. So I am getting the results, yes, of a previous situation.
Yeah.
So I don't want to create the cause to have the same result. So that is what we are trying to do. So, but so that's why karma, it's the lower scope. You know why? Because we are talking about here having just a good rebirth for myself. I'm not talking about the other person when I'm talking about karma. When I come with the intention to benefit others and I think about karma, I say, I want to stop suffering this situation in in future lives. And what can I do to help this person? Because if this person is having that situation, it's also because they created something. So what can I do to help them? And then if I understand the mind, it might not be necessarily giving the mundane things that we think is going to help, right? If I'm thinking about Dharma, it can be, as I said, scolding, right?
Or think about that person is doing that because they is suffering, like you said.
That's it.
Right?
That's exactly the point. Thinking that actually why this person is acting in this way is because of their suffering. And I want to help them eliminate that suffering from their mind. So that is better. Good questions, both of you. I like it. Yes?
but you can't fix someone's mind.
You can't fix someone's mind. So what you need to do, you need to have the wisdom yourself first, right? Because what is a quality that the mirror of our mind has when it's without any dust? There's luminous clarity, but there's something that is a very incredible characteristic. We can see clairvoyance. We can see past of our own minds. So I can see every action of my mind. So I can see, the reason why I'm having this person in my life is because, you know, this and this situation happened. And I created this karma, and then this karma come. But more, I can see the mind of others. I can understand why this person is suffering specifically. I can see the web. It's almost like Matrix, right? We can see beyond the appearances. I can see that Jack 3 lives ago did this and this and this, and then because of that in this life, now he has a cough that never goes away. Right? So what do I need to do to help him eliminate that? Right? So I can know. I know. But I cannot help. I cannot do it for him. I can only help by being clear myself, by teaching, by helping, by talking, by being there for him, by being kind, by being just that. Or sometimes giving him a hard time and say, you go to the doctor and you take, like a medication. It depends.
Like the helicopter.
Like the helicopter, exactly. The
Too
helicopter.
close to a helicopter.
That was what we did in the mountains in Nepal. They would die. They would die. So, do you understand? That's when we have that clarity of mind. Then we have really special possibilities to help others. Hmm? That's why we don't want only for ourselves, but for others. Because then we become like better than what is the name of those not Matrix, modern the superhero movies,
Marvel.
Marvel. Marvel movies, you know? I become a superpower, you know, to have it. So you had a question, sweetie.
My question was,
Joanna just said,
how do you get the karma to have a long life?
how do I have a karma to have a long life? Two things. Yes? Saving the life of others, and giving food, offering food to others. Why? Because food is the nourishment of the body. And saving lives gives you the possibility of having that happening to you. That, you know, someone will save you if something happens, and like, you know, you have all of these. You know, now one person, a friend of mine, that a person that I know, that her mother is in hospital, so people ask me to pray for them, right? So I do prayers, and then I said, oh, do Tara prayers, right? Specific Tara is like is this amazing, you know, deity that we say that it's swift, so it helps very fast, like the mother has like a, you know, like a to jump and say, yes, what can I do? And then she started to say, suddenly like this amazing doctor appeared, and now it's super helping them, and blah blah blah, and da 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 da, you know. And I was like, oh, this is very good, right? And she said, but why is this happening? And I said, because your mom created the karma in previous lives, and even maybe in this life, to help others. So she's being helped now. That's how it is. It's just cause and effect. If I help others, others help me. If I try to kill others, other people try to kill me, right? So that's why when people kind of like, that's why I tried we did an animal liberation here, right? You bringing Joey and trying to help him to liberate himself. Great, right? Very good. So these things, offering food to others, you know, you invite me and other people to have pizza, then very good. You know, like we did like these things, very good. Hmm? So we're gonna go into more details about karma afterwards. Joanna, please. Just a moment, Johnny.
Hello.
Hello, dear.
Okay. So going back to where you have a conflict person in your family,
Yes.
I okay. I have in my mind that when you don't feel anything like bad about that person and you just want like good for that person and you are capable of like not responding, you know, not being
Reactive.
aggressive or reactive. Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
uh in my mind I have that thought that that will be like the test or the way that your mind has already like passed that, say, to say it like that, you know.
Pass the test.
Yes, it's like okay, you that shows that you have grown in a certain way. It's because you don't feel the reaction and you just feel like compassion or like you can see their suffering. That means that my karma, I am ending my karma with that person, like just doing that, or what needs to happen for you to know that that karma is being like paid off or
Totally finished. Enough. I'm done with this person. That's it.
I
Not really with the person, it's
the situation, right? Yes, yes, yes. So yes, it's good. It's a good question. So the thing is that we don't know what type of negativities we created, right? So if that situation is happening, it's because we create the cause. So maybe it's just happening, and then we are, as you say, if we are able to transform that situation, that is one thing that is very good. So transforming the situation is not meaning I don't feel anything. It's I feel something positive for it. If I feel something positive about it, right? Meaning that maybe your own actions will change. So let's say that you used to avoid that person. Yes? But now you start to see the suffering and you like these people, like you see, say, oh wow, and all of that, and they are doing this because of that, da, 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 da. So instead of avoiding, you actually start to engage a little bit with this person. Yes? Engage well if you're so past the test that everything is okay, if this person is not bothering you anymore, then it's just a normal nice person, isn't it?
Okay, what if that person is like aggressive and she's in another state of mind, or that person also. She's so what you can do after you offer help, after you do everything like that you could create possible to not have that situation, that separation, or like you have anything else to do.
With all my love for the two of you, we are not trying to change the person.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not the goal.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to change our mind, our perception of the person. The person will go nuts and do whatever they want all the time because they remember the first module of this course is the uncontrolled mind. That's what we all have. We are all uncontrolled. So we cannot try to control the person. It's not going to work. Right? The only thing that we need to decide what we want. I want to continue suffering because this person is going to do whatever they want.
How you can help the person because she's suffering? I want to help that person. That
help needs to come with wisdom and compassion. And wisdom means I cannot change that person. That's what wisdom tells us. I cannot change. Nobody can change that person besides that person.
Even the Buddha.
Even the Buddha cannot, right? The
Oh.
Buddha, like even Jesus, right? There was people that wanted to kill Jesus and killed Jesus. They wanted and they did, right? So, and there was people that would see him as the son of God, right? There was people at the time of the Buddha that would see the Buddha as a Buddha and get the benefit of seeing him and a Buddha and receive the teachings and receiving these and transforming their own minds. But there was people that would try to kill the Buddha because he's a charlatan, yeah, in their minds. So where the problem was? In the way the Buddha was doing something? Our mind, the perception of each person. One created suffering for them when I saw the Buddha as a charlatan. The other created enlightenment for them because that person then could help me.
That happened today. Somebody ran their truck into the monk, killed eight of the monks.
Oh, yes, in Thailand.
Wasn't it here?
No, I think it was in Thailand. Yeah, something like this. That there was a truck that someone killed some monks. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I saw this. Yeah, very sad. I think someone told me that.
What amazes me is that I can understand why a little baby can die, right? Because they have karma from
Previous
previous
life.
lives. But why a guy like Hitler, to not talk about contemporaneous people,
Yes.
was allowed to kill 6 million people?
Allowed? There's no allowing.
Well,
It was not stopped.
Causes
Yeah.
and conditions. It's not about allowing. Karma is not punishment.
That would be
Okay.
collective.
Karma is not punishment. Karma is cause and effect. Just cause and effect.
And Hitler had people that liked him.
And exactly. And then even Hitler had people that liked him.
I'm sure.
You know, he had a wife or whatever, so people liked him. It's just a perception. They had a dog. Even his dog liked him.
But the question is, he was allowed to build really a giant karma, right? Creating the conditions to kill all that people.
Allowed by who? And that's the thing. It's not allowed. It's just cause and conditions. Think about it. And if we study history, we can see. There was the first war, they were very poor, all of this, and then there's someone that comes and says, I'm going to bring us back. So there's all these conditions happening, conditions of the mind. Yes? The mind. Not external only, but the mind. People wanting what? My happiness. The happiness of my friends, of my people. Right? Not think about others. As long as I'm good, my friends are good, that's okay. You can kill whatever you want.
So what does the
Right.
rebirth in the future life of somebody like Hitler look like?
We would say that if you kill many, many people, or even if you tell someone to kill people, you're going to go to lower realms. So not necessarily as a human being.
Like a cucaracha.
No, more than that. Worse than that. Worse than than animals. You go to what we call, the Buddhists call it hell realms. It's not the same way as Christianity. It's different, but it means that your mind is going to be trapped into sufferings. Think not forever. That's not, because nothing is forever. Because he also stayed for one time and then finishes, right? But think about it. When you start to go into your mind and you go like a little bit like, and you can especially at 3 in the morning, that time that you can think about this uncontrolled mind that you cannot do it, but think about that and only seeing suffering and then just experiencing that. Having a body that only by thinking you experience the suffering. So I think about, but if people kill me, boom, you feel the feeling of killing. Right?
I think when you're angry, you want to kill somebody.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? So that thing, those feelings, but you actually feel the result immediately. Right? So that's a little bit what happens. Joanna, did it help?
Last one. I promise. I'm sorry. Could I say that? It's very important to me. I'm sorry. The person I'm talking about is my sister, and it's really, really hard for my family to have her, causing all these things. So, because I have tried everything and nothing's works. So
Yes.
it's so important to me, and I'm really grateful for what you're doing for me right now. So I will say, because I thought that karma was like a punishment, so I will purge it after I change my feelings towards her. And so the only thing I can keep doing is creating the causes and conditions to be good for her to be okay, so that can turn the things. I could say that. Thank you.
You need to understand your own mind, and that is the most important thing. You can only help others if you understand suffering, because that's what we want. We want to help others to eliminate suffering. Yes, that's what we want. We want to help others so they can be happy, so they can stop suffering. But for that, we need to see what suffering actually means. And we need to start with ourselves. So when you start to see some anger, when you start to see how you suffer when you are angry, yes, when you speak in a violent way, when you kind of like when you are so much anger that you want to kill someone, that you want to kind of like stop that person from existing, when you want to abuse, when you want to, it's really seeing your mind. If you understand how this is detrimental, for yourself and for your own like experience, then we can think about helping others. But normally we jump this and we come with our understanding of what help is, because I know the truth and I know what's best, and this person what actually needs is this, and I'm correct and I have the truth, and this person is gonna see how I am the one to da 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 da, and then we are actually just acting exactly like that. Whatever they did out of anger, if we come with the same mental state, we are just doing the same, but just with a different color, different manifestation. So what you need is to have the mind in peace. Recognize that when you are under the influence of anger, doesn't work. That's what we are talking about on Tuesdays, right? Tuesday we talk about anger. And then how to really develop that wish for this person to not suffer anymore. And knowing that you cannot change their mind, because what is making them suffering is the mind of anger, is the mind of jealousy, is the mind of attachment, is the mind of we cannot change. And I have to say something, Joanna. Sometimes when we are actually in a family, it's even harder.
I know.
Because the mind is more confused. I always joke with my mom. I was talking to her today. Sweet, so kind. And I used to say some things, and she was like, "Nah, nah, 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 nah." And then we have a Brazilian nun, and I would go and say to her, "You say this, 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 this," and then she would go say the same thing to my mom. My mom, "Oh, that's true." Yeah. Same thing. But because their perception of me, yes, so your sister's perception of you, it's very contaminated, right? By their own ideas, and kind of like habits and all of that, and yours as well. So that's why it's so hard sometimes to see that person differently. It's very hard. Yeah? Does it make sense, sweetie?
It does.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Deepa.
Hi.
Hi, dear.
I wanted to ask, you were talking about the karma and killing, another being. So in terms of people who work in the armed forces, how does that play out?
Yes.
Is that about intent?
Definitely it's about intention, but the act of killing, in a way, it's a negative. It's a negative action. Why the action itself? It's already negative, because you're eliminating a very precious combination of cause and conditions that came together and gave us a human life. Yes, because being a human is a special thing, which I was trying to talk about it today. Before you guys decided to talk about all this karma. You guys, became obsessed with the karma, but it's good. It's okay. It's actually a good wake up call, because I was thinking about putting karma, as one of the things before we talking about this. I think that anyway. Well, no, because karma it's the continuity, in a way. It's kind of like understanding cause and conditions, but intention is very important. There's a story of the Buddha. I'll answer your question with the story of the Buddha. He was a sailor. Sailor? No,
It's on a ship.
on a ship. He was on a ship. Let's make it easy, no? So he was on a ship, and then there was like many other people, and then he could see because he was already training his mind. So he was not the Buddha yet. He was like training to be the Buddha, right? But he had a little bit already of what we call um, uh, um, clairvoyance. And then in clairvoyance, he could see that there was one person that wanted to kill all of the other 100 people on the ship. Yes. So he thought, if this person kills everybody, he's creating such a negative karma, horrible negative karma. Can you imagine 100 people? And then not only this, all these people are gonna suffer death. So it's just so bad. So I will kill that person. So he killed that one person. Yes? So he was a bodhisattva. So that means he killed with the intention, pure intention for the other people not to suffer. All of those. But when he died, yes, he died that in that life, he went straight to the lower realms. So he was reborn in that what we call the with Hitler.
Even though his intention is pure.
But wait, and then but he stayed very short because the intention created also very strong positive potential in his mind.
It was just longer term.
It was just longer term, but then the immediate reaction was you suffer because of that action, and then you get out. Does it make sense? But please
Don't kill anything.
don't kill anybody. Don't kill a mosquito. Don't kill anything thinking, no, I'm just doing that because I'm benefiting being bah, you know? But to don't have a malaria, bah, you know, and things like this. That's not true. Okay? So, but that is a little bit the idea. Does it make sense, Jipa?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, dear. Yes, sweetie, Tali, Tal.
Hi, Venerable. I was just wondering about what you said earlier. What's the difference between allowing and causes and conditions?
Allowing and causes and conditions. So, allowing in the sense of there's nobody.
I was thinking about the universe.
The universe, exactly. I know exactly what I mean. So allowing in the sense of like you are manipulating, let's say like this, you know, there's something that is like directing in that situation. Cause and conditions can only be intentional based, right? So in the
Oh, I'm
sense of
sorry. I misheard because I thought somebody in the class said, how could he or why was he allowed? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I thought that they were talking about this collective perception
Consciousness.
that he had and this decision all over Europe to participate in what he stood for.
Oh, that in
That's what I
allow
mean.
that is like how it was allowed. Well, the allowance of kind of like of this situation was definitely in the sense of the mind of people seeing this as correct.
So that's
The
collective
free will?
collective
The free
karmic
will?
moment.
Collective karma is a very thin line of situation, but because it's again not necessarily so. An example of collective karma is like, for example, everybody dies on a plane accident. It's not that everybody created the karma to die because they killed someone in a plane or something like this. It's just that the conditions made the that the potential for them to be alive finish, right?
Right.
And then that situation, the conditions of external conditions and inner conditions just created so that happens. But it's not that kind of like the people at the time created the conditions in the sense of of the same exactly conditions, you know? It was just different causes and conditions coming together because of many people and many karmic connections that allowed that situation to happen in that way, or created, not allowed, but let's use created that situation to appear and to manifest in that way. Yes?
Sometimes it's a matter of being a catalyst, right? That's what written was. Right?
Mhm.
There were
So-
the conditions because of the First World War, and then he created, he creates a narrative, and he was a catalyst to bring all that together. Now-
Also not. Karma is not like kind of like karma is more like that relationship between intention and result, right? So the intention is not necessarily uh, uh, clear. It's not that he kind of like had that intention to have those conditions happening. Those conditions were there.
Yeah, but he took advantage of that.
He took advantage with in the sense, if we say that he had that intention in his mind of what? To be happy and not suffer. And the intention to use, yes, whatever mental state that he had as a way to create, because karma is mainly, a mental state, right? Of course, we have the result of it externally, but it's a mental state. Yes. So that is the idea: is that if the conditions manifested, and then because these conditions manifested, his own karma manifested in that way. So he had the potential inside of himself, but the conditions manifested in a way that that karma manifested. Other karma could have manifested. Because he had all types of seeds in his mind, actually, if you think about it. So those conditions, because those conditions were there, and then he had that seed, that karma manifested. Yes? Because he was not aware, so he had that intention to, benefit his friends and all of that, so that created in this way. Yeah? Does it make sense a little bit more?
Yeah, it does.
Or
Thank you.
yeah, what, because I don't know if you I don't know if I understood what you mean by allowing.
No, I guess I was just curious about a mind state that happens collectively in a country or across a continent. That's all. How there's karma in that, obviously. So, but anyway, no
Yeah,
worries.
but like, but I think I like it, because I think it's like how some things are allowing is because many causes and conditions. For example, right now in the world, many causes and conditions are happening that is making our minds be more like attachments to be stronger. We call the degenerated times, right? So it means that the negative emotions, they're much stronger. The positive mental states, very hard. A perfect example of this, I'll give. One friend of mine, so kind, he just disrobed. He gave back his monk vows. He was a monk for like 7 years or 8 years, something like this. Very kind guy, very, very nice. And everybody was congratulating him for doing this. So, because people don't see it, the benefit of being a monk. Do you understand? So that's a collective understanding, because we have a collective view, because of so many causes and conditions have been kind of like coming and coming and coming, that makes us believe that, oh, he just being, like not a monk, it's okay and it's good.
Yep.
Right?
We're all with the
That's just a collective.
The supermarket guy, right?
The supermarket guy. It's just a collective kind of like study of the minds. Because of many causes and conditions, because of many habituations, You know, repetition becomes stronger, stronger, and we just go stronger, 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 and it goes like creating those conditions, and then that appears in this way. So it's a little bit like at the time of Hitler, you know, what was happening was the habituation of the mind again and again and again and again and again and again and again, because of the suffering, because of this, because of the instability, because of the economical things, because of that. Then he was just creating the mental states, yes, that saw as normal that situation. That is karma. Everything is karma in this situation, everything, you know, but it's a collective in a way of the mental states habituating in that way. That would be the collective intention. Yes, the collective way is not that direct connection of like, oh yes, everybody was in favor, or everybody kind of like killed someone, and because of that they were killed in that same way. Yeah, more like this. Okay, we're gonna talk more and more about. Thank you, sweetie. Yes.
Why is karma in the lower scope if it's so complicated?
Why karma is in the lower scope and not the higher, like in the lower, in the basic, the kindergarten, instead of being at the university level, right? Because by understanding karma is especially one feature of karma. Whatever in what I explained in the beginning of the class, a positive intention or a positive karma creates a positive result. A result of happiness, of pleasure, of feeling good, all of this. A negative intention, a negative seed, creates a negative result, experience, both physically and mentally. If I understand that this is the law of cause and effect, that this is the law of karma, that this is the law of how my mind works, what do I want to do when I understand that?
So karma can be positive. If you do good things,
Yes.
you create good
Definitely.
karma. If you do bad things, you create bad karma.
Yes.
Okay.
So bad karma in the sense of bad result.
Yes.
You experience the result. Yes?
Yeah.
So if like that is the most, remember that I always say that Buddhism, it's like a science, right? But there's one problem, that you are the scientist and you're the rat lab, right?
Guinea pig.
The guinea pig, right? What that means is that the seeds that I am planting, the experiences I am creating, I am getting affected by it. I'm getting the results. So what do I want to have? Which type of results do I want to experience?
Good ones.
Yeah.
Positive ones. Therefore, karma is so important for me in the beginning. It's actually ethics, and karma is exactly the same word in Buddhism.
Now, is
Yes?
karma always from one life to the other? Because I think colloquially, people usually use the word karma, like, oh, this is going to give you bad karma. Something
Yes.
bad will happen to you later on.
So I'm gonna
People
give
usually
you
are talking about
I'm
one
gonna
life.
give you a very short answer, which is no. And we're gonna go more in detail when we talk about that. Yes? But that is why. Your question was good because it's important that we understand why karma is in here, right? Because if I don't understand that my actions bring results to me, I won't change. Isn't it? Why do we have law enforcement? Honestly, I did law. I studied law, right? And I started to really understand karma and criminal law very similar in some ways. Understanding karma, it's understanding criminal law. Meaning, if I understand that I kill someone by accident, it's one result. If I kill with intention, one result. If I kill with a gun or with it's another result. Everything's another result.
Yeah.
It's the law is the same, right? So very important. If we don't understand that our actions bring results, we won't We will not change.
But law is a kind of accelerate karma, right? So
It's just a karma in this life. You know,
exactly,
we see the result in this
That's what I'm
life.
saying, yeah,
We
yeah.
see the result in this life.
Just waiting for the
Sure.
next one, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily a good thing. Yes. So, so the lower scope, so this intention to have good lives comes also by understanding karma. Because the karma just doesn't stop in this life. So it's not only that I am using these life actions to have good results in this life. No, I'm creating the seeds so in all my future lives, I can have good results. Why? Because I want to continue this path. I want to continue using this path as a path for me to eliminate my suffering, to find happiness, to clear my mind. So that is why the intention, the first intention, again, as we said, is how, to secure a good future life. Yes? Does it make sense what we're talking about? If we experience karma in this life, does it take away the cost in future lives? We're gonna talk about yes, Emmy, this is a very good question, but we're gonna talk about in next course, next class, next life. I hope not. I hope not in next life, but we're gonna talk more in detail about it. Yes, but it depends on our reaction to the experience of the karma, as we talked about. Yeah, it depends on what do I do with what I'm experiencing. Am I creating the causes for the same result, or am I creating the causes for a different result?
But you can hedging for the next life, right? You are a finance guy. You do
Hedge
some hedging.
doesn't work so much like this. You need to really keep it. So what is the second? Out of wanting to secure a future life, the next thing that we start to understand is that, okay, but even if I am reborn again and again and again and again as a human being, I'm still having to be under the control of these seeds that I don't know. Right? So it doesn't matter if I don't eliminate entirely, if I don't completely purify. Yes? The mirror. Even if I reborn with a different body, but the same mind, with all of the dust, I'm still suffering. Yes? Again and again and again and again and again and again and again. So then the second intention of the path is I want to totally eliminate all of the suffering. I want to be free from all the dust. It doesn't matter, I don't want to be reborn anymore with dust. Does it make sense? So that's what we are trying to achieve. If we do that, we achieve what we call liberation. What liberation means? I am free from the dust, negative emotions, wrong views, everything.
Is that nirvana?
That's nirvana, yes, which is different than enlightenment.
Yes.
Yes, because nirvana is just a state of mind that is free, completely free. So my mind, my mirror of my mind, the clarity of my mind is just there, pure, amazing. Yes, but I'm just like blissing out and everybody else is suffering. So then the higher motivation is that, but how about everybody else? If I am here, pure, clear from my, dust, what is the good for others? Everybody's suffering. My family, my this, my dad, the people I love in this life and all the lives I've seen. How is this good? How is this enough? That's the word. Yeah? How can that be enough for me to be happy if I see others suffering?
So is the higher scope even possible?
Yes. I'm looking at you, Johnny. You don't say it, you don't make this face. Yes, it's possible. Totally possible. For me, it's the most possible one. Why? Think about you want to decide to run, or you want to decide to go to the gym. Yes? But sometimes you wake up and you're like, I don't want, oh no. But then you remember, there's someone waiting for me to go to the gym. So then you get stronger. Yes? Or I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Oh, but my parents are waiting, or my loved ones are waiting, or my friends are waiting. Then you do it stronger.
So it's not that no one else is, it's not that we're all not suffering, right? It's just that you are living and your intentions are about others.
Yes.
Okay.
And then because you do that, because you understand, then you're going to make effort to do it. So it's actually much more possible.
Yeah.
Honestly, the middle scope, I think, is the most difficult one. Because it's like, I really, well, no, but yeah, I understand. I suffer a little bit, but then, okay, let a little bit of dust over there, you know? But when you understand that you need to remove all the dust so you can help others, then you have the intention. The intention is stronger. Yeah. Yes? Isn't it? Yeah. You know, sometimes we have situations in our lives that are so difficult. Everything falls apart. Everything is wrong. Everything's going wrong. But then you think about the loved one or something and say, okay, I'll just keep going. Yeah? I just keep going. It doesn't matter. People are just like stabbing you in the back, doing things against you. Like, you just keep going. Yes?
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown?
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Yeah, exactly. Why is it? No, and you just keep going. Yes? So that is really, really strong. And that is enlightenment. The intention to achieve enlightenment. Yes? Because the stronger I want to be, the more tools I want to have. So enlightenment, it's a state of mind, as we said, that is pure and clear, but also full of tools. Like, you know, the word you say that I keep forgetting. To see the clairvoyance, you know, and clairvoyance, and kind of like helping others with kind of like your body, speech, and mind, everything. So then you say, oh yeah, I want this. I want to be efficient. You know, it's like a best return in investment, right? That's what you kind of like you want. Okay. We did it. You have a question, Johnny, or you're just saying goodbye?
I want to build off of what Joanna said, but it's late. It's kind of complex. Can I bring the question into the next session?
Please, that would be great. Just write it down, yes, over there, and then keep it, and then we come back next week, and then we talk about it. But
Okay.
don't forget that you guys have homework, not homework, so Bob doesn't become, but it's about like us thinking about, reflecting and using this time wisely. Yes? Just think a little bit about these intentions, these different intentions. How does thinking about my future life, or me being completely free from eliminating all my negativities, and how me thinking I'm doing this so I can help others, affects my life? Does it make sense? Just think about sometimes. Fernanda is writing down for the two of you, so she's gonna, in the dinner time, she's gonna talk about it. So that's so important that we just think about how thinking about this would help me, right? How thinking about my future life is important for what do I do in this life. I still remember, I think I told already this story. I was one of the first things I did when Lama Zopa when I took ordination, and became a monk with Lama Zopa Rinpoche, my teacher. I was so happy because I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go to a monastery. Finally, I can kind of like, study and contemplate and, be a serious practitioner, do retreat and only study and all of that, not going around, you know." And then he says, "Oh, I really want you to go to a meeting with the Dalai Lama, of the team of the Dalai Lama." And I said, "Oh, okay," because there was this big land that the Dalai Lama wanted to request from Rinpoche, in Bodh Gaya. We didn't ended up going there. So, and Rinpoche asked me to go, and I went, and we went to the land, and we saw the land, and they said, "Oh, because the Dalai Lama wants to build a big university for people to learn more about Buddhism, especially people that are not Buddhist, and it's going to be science and all of that." And they said, "And we're going to do a house for His Holiness." And I said, "Ooh, that's amazing. His Holiness, when it becomes too cold over there in the mountains, he's going to come down here." And they said, "No, no, no, for the 15th Dalai Lama." And I said, "Geez, they're already thinking about the next reincarnation. And I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner after this," right? So that is the mind. That is how the mind can actually start creating the conditions now for a future rebirth. How this would affect me. Would I change something in my day life if I would think in this way? Hmm? So that is the idea. Do you understand the idea of the exercise? Yes? Okay, dears. So thank you so, so much. I'm so sorry I passed. It's all your fault anyway, because you guys are asking questions. So we just dedicate, dedication is so important because dedication is just the continuity, making that continuity, making that motivation, making the other seeds that we created to continue in the same direction. Yes? And the direction that we want, as now that we understand in the different scopes, is to achieve full enlightenment so we can benefit sentient beings. That is the most important. We can purify our minds and we can actually allow this clarity, this, completely incredible luminosity that we have to shine and help others. So that's what we want to do. We want to achieve that so we can help others to achieve the same state. So that's why whatever we did today that created the causes for that, may they ripen, in this way. So that's what we do. We dedicate. Short dedication today because we're already late. So thank you very, very much. See you tomorrow. We have a conscious conversation. We're going to talk about
Thank you very,
anxiety.
very much.
Yeah, we're going to talk about anxiety, burnout, all of these things about tomorrow, Friday. And then Sunday, we also have teachings. And we're going to have also, it's His Holiness' birthday, 91 years old. So we're going to do a celebration. And for those that would like, we're going to eat something together as well after class.